So I feel like I was the only person who was looking forward to this more than Edge of Tomorrow, but you know what? I like the book, so here we go. The Fault in Our Stars is a movie that follows Shailene Woodley, and she plays Hazel Grace, and she has cancer, and she goes to support groups, but she really doesn't, like, connect with too many people, and then she meets someone one day named Augustus Waters, who's played by Ansel Elgort, and they start developing a friendship and a relationship, and it's just kind of, there's a flow of events that are fairly realistic in portraying what it is to be young with cancer. And going into this movie, I was pretty excited. I was actually really excited because I read the book and I liked it, and I was hoping they would really do it justice on the big screen, and I thought they did a really good job with this movie. Not in just an adaptation, but in the fact that it really is a good movie. A big portion of that comes from the acting. Both Shailene Woodley and Ansel Elgort are great in this movie, especially Shailene Woodley. She just does such a great job of making you care about this character, and I think that comes from the fact that Shailene Woodley herself is a very likable person, and she's one of the best actresses out there today, so it's really a slam dunk with this character. She did it so well, and I thought she really encompassed what I was envisioning when I was reading the book, so that was nice. And Ansel Elgort, again, does a good job too. He does a good job of portraying Augustus, because he's kind of a, for lack of a better term, a douchey character. Kind of a little bit full of himself, that would be a better way to describe it, but he did a good job with that. And there's some supporting roles. Laura Dern plays Shailene Woodley's mom, and she did a great job in this movie. She had some really nice moments where she had to really, get emotional and you really feel for her. Willem Dafoe also has a small character in the movie, and he does a good job. His character is kind of depressing, but he does a good job with that as well. All the acting in the movie is really well done. I liked it all. And one thing I will say, I can understand if someone didn't like this movie and they called it cheesy and just, you know, romance and stuff. I would get that, but honestly, I enjoyed the book and I thought it was pretty well written. Yes, there is definitely some cheesy moments in there and some cheesy lines especially, but you know what? It all comes together with romance, and that is so cheesy too, but you know what? I don't care. Because this movie does a good job at portraying its subject matter realistically for the most part, even through the cheesy lines and stuff like that. It just does a good job, because there's nothing like... There's a lot of emotional moments in this movie, and it hits you hard. Like, I had teared up a few times, and it's not like this movie just has this one big twist that surprises you and shell shocks you and just goes for that type of impact. It really doesn't do that. It builds, like there are some reveals in there, but it builds really slowly to its emotional climaxes, and it works really well. And there's some comedic moments, as there usually is in these types of movies, and I thought they handled it really well. The comedy and the drama, they blend it together really well. It never feels like it's out of place or anything like that, so that was nice. One thing I will say though, near the end of the movie, there is a really sad-ish moment, but it's kind of sad, but it's kind of happy at the same time, but that's a lot of this movie, actually. That's a good way to describe it, sad and happy at the same time. But there was this moment that got me really sad, and I teared up, and after that there was something that was supposed to be, I assume it was supposed to be a bigger emotional impact, and honestly it didn't have that much of an impact on me. I still felt sad, but after that one moment where it really got to me, after that the movie was still really good. I wasn't disinterested or anything. I felt like it wasn't as emotional because it had already hit me with the biggest thing it had. And yes, they do change some things from the book. They kind of condense a few chapters into like one conversation or scene, which I understand because you can't have every single little conversation they have and just keep doing that, because it would be like 3.5 hours long. And that would not be enjoyable. So overall, The Fault in Our Stars is a good adaptation of the book. It has fantastic acting. I actually think Shailene Woodley should get nominated for this movie, but she definitely won't because it's the summer and there's gonna be a lot of movies coming out in the fall that have great performances. I enjoyed the story of it, even though I could see why some people might not. I thought it handled its subject matter really well. It dances around comedy and drama, and it does it really well. So I'm gonna give The Fault in Our Stars a B+. I suggest you go check it out. Unless you really don't like romantic type stuff, then you won't like this one either. So what did you guys think of The Fault in Our Stars? Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? If you've read the books, how did you feel about it as an adaptation? Write a beautiful comments down there and tell me what you think. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button down there, because if you don't, I don't have a joke. Just go see this movie.